Hi everyone, so today I'm going to talk about Looker Studio. By the end of this video, you will know why Looker Studio is really important, especially for someone who wants to start his career as a digital analyst, what are the features that make Looker better than the others, and why I think it's a great starting point. So let's start with, first of all, what's Looker Studio? Looker Studio is a visualization tool. So in a way that, let's say that you work in an e-commerce website or you own your own business and you want to know how many revenue you generated during the last, I don't know, 1 year, and you want to see it day by day. Looker Studio gives you the ability to connect your store to let's say Looker Studio, and then you can visualize these information. So you can have it as pie charts or as tables, etc., etc. Not only this, Looker Studio gives you the ability to customize these dashboards. So let's say that you want to put your brand on it. So you put your logo, you put your brand colors, and then you can do this as well. So that's why I think that Looker Studio is really good as a starting point to solve lots of information, lots of problems, and of course to answer lots of your questions. Now, what I really like about Looker Studio is data integration. What do I mean by this? Looker Studio gives you the ability to connect with Google Sheets, with Excel, with Google Ads, with Google Analytics, and this is what we're going to do today. So you will be able to connect with many things. So by the end of this video, you will be able to create your first dashboard, I hope, and visualize some of the stuff. And I'm gonna tell you how can you even connect a public set, so Google Analytics public sets to with that. So yeah, so we can get started. So hello again, this is Looker Studio, and I will put the link in the description below. And let's say that I want to start a new report. I will click on the blank one, and then okay, so the first thing that you will see that it will tell you what is the data source that you want to connect. In my case, as we said, that I want to connect it to Google Analytics, and there's already a public data set for Google Analytics that you can connect if you don't have a Google Analytics. So let's say that for some reasons you just closed it. So what you have to do, you have to go here, add data. So you can here, and then you can have it again, and you can say, okay, I want to go to to Google Analytics, and it's the demo account. I want it to have to the Google Merchant shop, and here I have it. Okay, so now I have the report. But before we start, I need to take you through Looker Studio really quickly. What you have here is the cool part, is the most important part. Here you have the data source that you can connect. As you can see here, I have lots of data sources that I had. You can even blend data, but we can talk about this later. You have dimensions here. You have the metrics that you need to add. So really quickly, the difference between dimensions and metrics. Metrics is the number. Dimensions is the dimension that you want to look at. So mobile category, the mobile operation system is a dimension. The number of visits to the website is a metric. The revenue you generated, it's a number, it's a metric, and so on and so forth. Here, I will not say like it's that important, but if you want to sort the data, you can here sort it from here. You can have a secondary one. You can have a default data range. Most likely, we recommend you to have it as auto. But if you want to customize it, you can even customize it here, and you can see what's going on. But let's keep it auto. You can have filters here, and the filters you can add whatever filter you want. Let's say that page, the full page URL contains XYZ, for example. Okay. Another thing, if you for some reasons if you don't see here anything, you have to click on the graph that you want to look at, and this is really important. So I want to click on that graph to see what kind of stuff I want to have. But let's say that you want to know how many sales did you do during the last 7 days, and we can do it together. Okay, there's another thing, which is the style. The style here is where you can actually play around with your graph, change the color. For example, you can see it's here. I will keep it like as black for now. You can change how the order of the color is, which row it is, etc., etc. But for the sake of just proceeding, I'm gonna start with a task. So imagine that your manager tells you, "Hey Hisham, I want to know how much sales did we do during the last 7 days, and how can we understand what was the trend?" So it's really important to know that you want to know what was the number, like the revenue that you generated during the last 7 days. So what I will do, I will go here, I want to have a trend line. I'll put the trend line here, and then I would say like I want to know the purchase, and which is e-commerce purchase in my case. Now I have the e-commerce purchase, but he said the last 7 days. This is by default, but let's say that he said I want to know September's data. So you can't go all the time here and just change and you say, you know what, I want to know September. How can I do this? This is not really how it's supposed to be. You can do this, but there's another way where you can do it is by add control. Here you can have the data range control, and here you can say, okay, I want to know the last 14 days. Now, this is really important, by the way, because it changed here, but it didn't change here. Why this happened? Because you selected here as custom. So you have to make sure that all the time it's auto. When it's auto, you will see, okay, now I can see everything. So he wants to know what was the sales during the last 14 days and what might be like the reason behind a drop or a spike. So what we will do, I will just delete this one. Whenever someone asks you, I want to know what happened during the last 14 days, you have to know what happened before that or what happened during the last year of the same period. So let's make it a bit bigger here. You can see that, okay, now we have the date, now we have the e-commerce, and what you need to do is, let's say I want to compare it, and I want to compare it to previous period. Now I have the comparison with the previous period. This is good, but it doesn't really tell me what's going on. You can see that it's kind of following the same trend somehow. I don't know what was the total of online purchase. So in this case, if I want to know what was the purchase, I'll just go here, put total, put it here, and then I would say, okay, I want to get the e-commerce purchase, as you can see here, and I want to compare it to the last period. Okay, so you can see that, okay, we have less sales. You see, because in the graph it will not tell you, but the metric will tell you. But for example, you want to better understand between the last this period to this year to the last year, and then I will just go Control C, Control V. I have it again, and here I would say compare it to the previous year, not to the previous period. I want the previous year. And let's see what happened during the previous year. Oh, so this year we made more than last year, which is really good. If you want to have the same thing as graph, a shortcut that I usually do, I just Control C, Control V, and then I go down and I jump in here and I change the graph. Now there's a problem, right? Because if I look at them, it will not look that great. What I will do, I will go here to the page. I will go to the current page settings. I will go to the style, and then I would say, okay, I want the height to be 1200 as well. In this way, you have more space to have. So we will make it a little bit bigger. We make sure that, okay, it's matching somehow, so it looks nicer. Okay, that's perfect. I put it here. Now, additional to that, what you can do, you can have a pie chart. So let's say that I want to have the pie chart per device. So I want to know how many online purchases that I did per device for desktop, or for mobile. So what I want you to do, add a chart, and we need the pie chart. We put it here. Before that, let me change again the settings of this. Let's make it 1500. Okay. Now, you have to go to the setup. What we care about is not the date. What we care about is the device category. So I'll put here device category. And now I have it. So I have 90% of my audio, my purchase is through desktop, and 9.5% is through mobile, and the rest for tablet and smart TVs. But now I have this. Now everything's there. Okay. Now what we need to do really quickly, we need to say that, okay, this is the purchase versus last period. And it's really important to really organize your dashboard. You don't need people to ask you what this number means, what that number means. And then you go here and you say here, purchase versus last year. Okay, so now we have it. We make some adjustments here, make it more in the middle to make it a little bit nicer. We can make another video, by the way, about how can you redesign your dashboard, add the logo. But as you can see here, so far what we did, we created this amazing dashboard really quick. Here, like you say, like purchase versus last period, and here it's purchase versus last year. And here we're gonna put purchase per device. If I want to add some text, let's say that, like some notes, I'll put it here. Important notes. We can say that, okay, last 14 days we had, I don't know, promo code, or okay. Okay, so what we can say, for example, like really important notes, that data source is Google Analytics demo. So people who visits your dashboard would know what's going on. And then you can say that, and yeah, you can see that now we have the, okay, great. So this is in really short what's Looker Studio, why it's really important, and why I think that you have to consider it as a tool for you to use as someone who wants to start to become as a digital analyst. So we can do lots of stuff with Looker Studio. If you think that this is something that you would like to know more about, please let me know in the comments. I relatively have a new channel, so your input is really important. How can I improve the videos, and how can I share more knowledge? Thank you so much, and take care. Bye bye.